Hi, how are ya? What's going on, everybody? We are back to breaking down Eminem's album, The Death of Slim Shady, track by track. But I want to ask you guys a very important question. Do you want me to continue to break down the songs? And here's why I ask this. The album's been out for almost 2 weeks now, and it's taken me a little bit to get through each single track. Obviously, I've done my full album reaction first time listen. It's an hour-and-a-half long video that you can check out on my channel the day the album dropped. And I've even done a full album review where I talk about each individual track and then I rank them on my order of listening preference. And I've individually broken down, I think, 6 songs now. So there's still quite a bit to go. And I just want to know if it's feeling stale for you guys, because I'm starting to get that feeling. And there's a lot of stuff that's either about to happen or is already happening that I've missed because I've been extremely dedicated to only Eminem stuff. And I just don't want this to get stale. You know what I'm saying? I love doing this right now, but the second something starts to feel mundane for me, I don't want to do it anymore. So here's my thought process. Definitely going to do Lucifer today. It's my second favorite song on the album. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen my album review video. But I also want to do Fuel. Definitely want to do Guilty Conscience 2. And then other than that, I don't really know. Antichrist has some great punchlines. Evil has some great punchlines. Save Me is a great conceptual song too. But I just don't want to be only Eminem. You get what I'm saying? And it's been 2 weeks nonstop of just Eminem. And I don't want anybody to feel like, okay, I'm tired of watching this guy. Don't want to feel like I'm dragging this out because I'm really trying not to. I'm trying to get through all of it. So yeah, please just comment down below your thoughts on the whole idea. Really interested to see what you guys want out of this, and you will probably determine what I end up doing. So please comment your thoughts. But yeah, breaking down Lucifer, no sponsor today. All I ask is that if you want to support my fiance and I on our future marriage, we get married at the end of October. We just got accepted on our offer for our house and we close next week. And we do have a registry that we need to fill up this house with stuff. So if you want to buy us some pots and pans or pillow covers or towels or anything that is on that registry, that would be awesome. You can click to have it sent to our house and have a note put on it. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but it would mean the world to us if you did that. But all right, enough babbling. Let's get into this absolute behemoth of a song, Lucifer with Sly Pyper. Let's go, baby.
The coup de grace is the final shot.
This beat drop.
Right between the eyes. Also known.
Oh, so good, bro. Makes you want a mean mug, shoulder shrug.
It feels
So good.
Alright, I'm gonna start. Yes, I got it. Before I get banned, kicked off Twitter and TikTok, cause they so damn ticked off bitter. They want me to bounce like a fabric softener. We just got rid of Diego kick rocks with us.
Okay, so we got Slim and Eminem kind of rapping back and forth right there, and you will see very quickly that is some stuff that I love about this album. Songs that do this are in the top of my album ranking, and it's not really a coincidence. It's just awesome. But we got a nice little Sly double entendre to start off the song that want me to bounce like a fabric softener. We're Team Gain in this household, but we do use bounce dryer sheets. But I do love the beginning of this with the Alfred Hitchcock style voice narration. It's not Alfred Hitchcock, I thought it was, but it talks about the coup de grace being the final shot between the eyes, the kill shot. A lot of people see that as a reference to Kill Shot, MGK, that whole situation, but it's also referencing like he is going to kill Slim Shady throughout this album. I mean, it's literally called the coup de grace, and this voice even says really demonically something to stop the pain. So he's saying the kill shot between the eye, the coup de grace, will stop Eminem's pain if he kills Slim Shady. A lot of meanings in this opening verse. But yeah, we also kind of hear them talking back and forth about who's going to start the song, Marshall or Slim Shady, and I just really like that.
But Dre on beats with the white bass, Blondie on the mic is like having Steady B and Cool C in the ride, like we rap and did a little bank robbery on the side. So they want beef, we can make like Bonnie and Clyde.
Dope punchline.
The same exact fate as my dad. Wait, at least he didn't miss me graduate. Yeah, great.
That's a funny one.
Do I still act 8? Maybe a little Debbie, like a snack cake.
Nice. Again, some more punchlines right there, saying he acts like a little Debbie. His mother's name is Deborah or Debbie, but also Little Debbie as in the snack cakes, which are delicious. Obviously, I love Little Debbie snack cakes. But also, this escaped me in my first time listening when he said, at least my dad didn't miss me graduate. It's because Eminem actually never graduated high school. So, of course, his dad didn't miss him graduate. It's because he didn't graduate. Said haters can meet the exact same fate that his dad met. His dad is dead. But also, he notoriously ignored his father throughout his entire career. So maybe he's saying that he's going to ignore the haters. They're going to keep talking, keep trying to get all this attention. It's just going to be met with silence. We have this punchline about Steady B and Cool C. They were some rappers who did a bank robbery and killed a police officer. So he's saying when you put the combination of Dr. Dre and Slim Shady, the white blondie on the mic, it's just like Steady B and Cool C because they're rappers, but they're robbing the bank, getting all of this money. And Dr. Dre and Slim Shady are basically robbing the bank with all these songs they're putting out. They're getting so much money, it's like they're robbing a bank. Then he finishes off the whole scheme with we can make like Bonnie and Collide, saying that he could go head to head, head on with any any competition or anybody trying to stop him with this bank robbery, with him making all this money. But also Bonnie and Clyde were a duo that robbed all kinds of banks together and got all this money and were killed. Just a lot of cool references there.
But if this is what he do to his mom, imagine what he do to you. I'm a lunatic armed, and if it's you I used to clip on, for you to respond is ludicrous. Ma, look at what you to respond.
Must be a cold day in hell. Tell me what have we done? Take me out my misery. I bought heaven when it was up for sale, and now I need a refund, baby.
What a great chorus that is too, man. So we got this little pre-chorus from Eminem right here. Also got to point out the fact that Slim Shady in the background called his mom a slut, just showing that it's a different era, talking about Debbie Mathers, his mom. But he goes on to say, like, if this is what he does to his mom, calls his mom a slut on the track, imagine what he does to you. Like, he just does not care. He doesn't give a fuck. But he also has this big homophone with you to respond and uterus spawned. I love when he does that, and does that a lot throughout this album. But in this line, he's saying, if it's you that I have to use this clip on for you to respond, that's ludicrous. I shouldn't have to shoot at you for you to respond to me. And then it says, Mom, look at what your uterus spawned, Lucifer. And again, just a really metaphorical chorus from Sly Pyper right here. I think it's in Dante's Inferno where the devil tried to take over heaven and was sent down to hell. And in this chorus, he says, I bought heaven when it was up for sale, but now I want a refund. Could be super metaphorical to Eminem's life. Like, he thought all this fame and notoriety was heaven, so he bought into it. But then when he got to it, he realized it kind of fucking sucked and people were trying to tear him down the whole time. So he kind of wants a refund from that. He wants to kill Slim Shady and get a refund for this heaven that he was in. Super metaphor.
Wait, what the fuck? Where I put my... I think someone messed with my meds, probably. I bet it's my ex, Molly, that I bludgeoned to death. Already severed the head. I smell the fresh in the flesh, rotting, so it's breakfast in bed. If I wake up next to a dead body. Multiple lacerations, contusions, abrasions, bruises, hallucinations, delusions, abusive. My language usage, they lose it when Drake produced it. As soon as he plays the music, it's lunacy. Treat the beat like a choice. Shady, choose it.
Another punchline right there. Shady choose the beat. He eats every beat that he's on, but also he chooses which beat to rap on. But he opens this verse talking about his drug addiction, saying that he thinks somebody messed with his meds, probably his ex Molly. Double entendre, the word Molly is a female name. Could be an ex-girlfriend named Molly, but also Molly is in the drug, and he's no longer a drug addict, so he is an ex-drug addict, ex-Molly. We've also got another necrophiliac bar on here, which I've heard several times on this album, kind of disturbing, because he says the head of his ex-Molly is bludgeoned to death and severed off, and it's laying next to him in bed. And if he smells that scent, then it's going to be breakfast in bed. And breakfast in bed is a term for having sex in the morning. So he's having sex with the dead body. But the dead body is drugs as well, metaphorically, in this whole scheme. So if he smells the scent of the flesh rotting, or smells the drugs around him, he's going to take them, or he's going to have sex with this dead body. Wild stuff. But I love this flow that comes in from Slim Shady. This is the style of Eminem that I like the most on this album, when it's just super fluid. Great rhyme schemes throughout. Just a really fun listen.
Music is lunacy, treat the beat like a choice. Shady, choose it. Now all I see is dollar signs, losers. Bitch, I was in them trenches like them Columbine shooters. I was down bad, broke, and almost abandoned hope. Now my followers are like a satanic cult. Yeah, they listen to me like when Manson spoke. They say I don't know struggle no more. That's a joke. Bitch, the fucking elevator in my mansion's broke. I have to walk like half a block to get a can of Coke.
Alright, before we get into the Candace Owens scheme here, so that opening punchline talking about him being broke and that he was in the trenches like the Columbine shooters. The Columbine shooters actually wore trench coats, so they were literally in trenches, but also he was in trenches as in the ruts of life. And when you're down in the trenches of life, just like in the trenches of war, you're doing the dirty work. You're really trying to grind to get out of it. Goes on to say now his followers are like a satanic cult. The song is called Lucifer. He's comparing himself to Lucifer, so that his fans are literally a satanic cult. Listen to him like when Manson spoke. Charles Manson notoriously never actually killed anybody, but told everybody in his family to do all the dirty work with like Sharon Tate and a bunch of other people. Had them all brainwashed, so he's saying that he's got all of his fans brainwashed. They'll do whatever he says. And then finishes it off by saying the current day struggle that he has is still a struggle nonetheless. It's just now he doesn't have an elevator and has to walk a really long way to get a can of Coke in his house because he's got a massive house. Rich boy problems.
Get a can of Coke and Candace Owens. I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fat bitch. Forgot she was black. Back at her, laugh at her like them crackers. She's backing after her back is turned in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new white lives matter shirt. Don't say this MAGA dirt bag in a skirt. Just open the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call a grand wizard clan. That's a grand dragon her like the national anthem. I won't stand for the tramp, but I can't diss her cause my plans are to get in her pants and I blow my chance if I answer back to her.
Jesus, man, that is the craziest shit right there, bro. Just the setup right there, the rhyme schemes, the really extended rhyme scheme. Just really crazy writing that I feel like only Eminem does. Literally Literally only this guy does this shit. So we had this entire scheme about Candace Owens, who is notoriously a black female Republican. And he's basically teasing her by saying, I'm not going to remind you that you're black, and doing all this Republican stuff, because it is the overwhelming stigma that if you're a hardcore Republican, they're typically white racist dudes. And he's saying her being involved with all this stuff, like they're just laughing at her back when she turns. Brought up the White Lives Matter shirt. I remember when she wore that. Called her Grand Wizard Candace. The Ku Klux Klan, the head guy is called a Grand Wizard, and it was a play on her name with Candace and Candace. Also had the line tying the national anthem, saying he won't stand for the tramp, which makes a lot more sense because she has the Republican views and criticized people for not standing for the national anthem. And this whole time he's saying, like, I'm not going to say all this stuff, and says all this stuff. And he says the reason I'm not going to actually say all this stuff is because I'm trying to get in her pants. I want to fuck her. She's hot. Now, while I don't agree politically with the view stance, I agree with the rhyme schemes and the delivery like crazy, because that was elevated as fuck.
Blow my chance if I answer back to her. My shit is like taking Deborah Mathers at a word. Yeah, I'm not absurd. We had a spat, and afterwards we squashed the beef like a hamburger patty. Or should I say gigantic turd? Cause I put that shit to bed like Amber Heard at a mattress firm. But if this is what you do, mom, imagine what you do. I'm a lunatic arm, and if it's you, I used to clip on. For you to respond is ludicrous. Ma, look at what you do to respond.
Go back to the chorus.
Lucifer.
That's funny in the pre-chorus, where he said if this is what he do to his mom, and then does the poop sound effect, do. Very classic, childish bars. But yeah, this is his mom again, by saying my shit is like taking Deborah Mathers at her word, like you literally can't do that. Squash the beef like a hamburger patty, I love me some smash burgers. Pretty simple punchline. And then put the shit to bed like Amber Heard at a mattress firm. She literally shit on Johnny Depp's bed. I made a punchline very similar to this 2 years ago, where I said if you come at me, I'll make you shit the bed, Amber Heard. It's just a hilarious punchline to make, and I'm all for it.
This must be a cold day in hell. Tell me what have we done? Take me out my misery. I bought heaven when it was up for sale. And now I need a refund.
I wish that chorus was longer, man. So good.
So whether you friend or you are foe, far as bars go, even fucking retards know that as far as smoke with me, I don't think it'd be smart. So might as well go looking for smoke with Lamar, bro. But Marshall, you're getting more perverse every time you report a verse, and it's like you came from 2000, stepped out a portal cursing, hurling horrible slurs towards the world. And why can't you make fun of people behind their backs like a normal person? But when you reach these heights, freedom of speech dies.
Okay, so cool conceptual stuff right there. This verse starts off with just Slim Shady, and he's kind of talking to Marshall, and then it goes on to Marshall kind of responding to that. But starts off the verse by saying, everybody knows that you don't want the smoke with me. Even the people that are mentally challenged know you don't want smoke with Eminem. You're better off trying to get the smoke from Lamar, which is a double meaning of itself. Lamar as in Kendrick Lamar. Obviously Drake and Kendrick Lamar had their spat going back and forth, and it's kind of widely accepted that Kendrick won the beef. There are some people that don't agree with that, but it's kind of hard to argue against that. The court of public opinion has spoken. But also smoke with Lamar, as in Lamar Odom, because he was a very hard drug addict that actually overdosed, somehow survived. Everybody thought he was going to die. So having smoke with either one of those people in that situation is not good. And he's saying you're better off doing that than to try to have smoke with me. It would be a bad time. But here we've got Slim talking to Marshall. He's like, now it's like you've stepped out of a portal from 2000. You're hurling out these horrible slurs. You're cursing. You're making fun of all these people in front of them. Why can't you just do it behind their back like a normal person? You're like me now. We're morphing into the same person.
Like a normal person. But when you reach these heights, freedom of speech dies. With every line that I recite, then PC police try to throw me in jail with no bail like a peace prize. For all of them years, they reduced me to tears. Tried to shrink me to peace size, only to see my self-esteem rise. Now these are my replies. They made me eat shit. I fed it back to them 3 times. Stepfather's the only one I ever been beat by.
Another great punchline right there. Nobody's ever beat me on the mic, lyrically anything. My stepdad's the only one who's ever beat me, as in physical beating. A little double entendre there. But yeah, if you pay attention, you can hear Marshall and Slim rapping back and forth again. They're kind of trading lines. Marshall says the PC police, the politically correct police, try to throw him in jail with no bail, like the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, but no bail as in no way to give money to get out of jail. But he says they did all this stuff to him to make him feel like peace size, to shrink him down to almost nothing. But all that did was make his own self-esteem rise and piss him off so much that the shit that they were feeding, he turned around and fed it back to him 3 times over. So that shitty feeling that they made him have, he made them feel the same way 3 times over.
Beat by squeeze mics like Burmese pie. Daunches for each time you sleep on the floor. How you hear these strings climb? You reap what you sow. So what? So first I must weave rhymes. so seamlessly. Then I'ma leave eyes in a state of disbelief. My genius is a trait, so the gap's in our genes, right? The gap. At least that's what it seems like. And I'm Lucifer, and Dre's the producer for the Antichrist.
See, they form together right there at the end, and them going back and forth with those bars. It's why it's one of my favorite songs on the album. Got the metaphor of squeezing mics like a Burmese python. Burmese pythons squeeze their prey to death. That's how strong they can grip. Saying that's how strong of a grip he has on the microphone, but that also represents the rap game. Nobody's going to take that from his hands. But yeah, we had this really cool little sewing scheme to end the song up. Starts off by saying you reap what you sow. Very notorious saying. Basically saying that actions have consequences. And before that, he says, this is for the people that were sleeping on my flow. Now you reap what you sow. Now you done pissed me off so much, these are the consequences. You get songs like this of me not giving a fuck. But anyway, goes on to say that now I must weave rhymes right after talking about reaping what you sow. And he does it so seamlessly that he leaves eyes in a state of disbelief. Levi's are a pair of work jeans, and saying that his music and his flows and stuff are just so seamlessly now, but seams that you sow. Just a lot of really cool schemes together right there. And then finishes off the scheme by saying that genius is a trait, so the gap is in our genes, right? Levi jeans, sewing seamlessly, but saying there is a gap that he has the genius trait and other people don't. And also Gap sells clothing and sells jeans, the clothing company. Just a lot of really dope schemes to end the song right there. Then we finish the song by Eminem saying that he's Lucifer and Dre is the producer for the Antichrist, but Slim says Antichrist, then the very next song is Antichrist, and I think it's actually produced by Dre, if I'm not mistaken. But also this is Marshall saying that he's Lucifer and Slim Shady saying that he's the Antichrist, meaning that Marshall will be one step higher up on the evil food chain because it's the Antichrist, then the devil or Lucifer, in order of evilness in the world of theology. So some double meanings to end the song right there. And it also blends seamlessly into the next song, Antichrist. Great back-to-back songs there. But okay, that was my full in-depth breakdown of Eminem, Lucifer with Sly Pyper. Again, my second favorite song on the album. I really love this song. Shout out to you if you made it to the end of this video. Again, please let me know what you guys want me to do moving forward with the rest of this album. But that's it for this one. Check out our wedding registry down below if you want to support my fiance and I in our new house. And I will see you in another video tomorrow. Either going to be Fuel or Guilty Conscience 2. I haven't decided yet. I love you. This is my song, If My Heart Had Wings, if you're interested in checking out my music. Have a great day, guys.
Seems like every now and then I try to pick myself up from these lows. But how can I expect to do that? I don't even feel like picking up my phone. I'm stuck somewhere between one and someone there all the time. But sometimes I don't have enough energy to even stay on the line. Cause I've been down and out, I've been down this road, and I know